Howdy. Hey, welcome back to Mystery Rift. I'm David Paulides, and you're tuned in to another copyrighted edition of The Missing Project. It's been a truly significant week for the Can-Am Missing Project, and for many of you who participated in the release of my latest work, Missing 411 with Montana. We appreciate the overwhelming response. This is the first book I've ever released about a single state, and it includes a crucial driving map showing exactly where all of the missing people and clusters are located. Find it and more evidence at canammissing.com. Before we dive deep into 4 profoundly disturbing cases today, I want to touch on something timely. Many of you know I've been associated with MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network, for over a decade. Their magazine this month hits on a fascinating topic: invisibility and cloaking. They talk about the bending of light, the Philadelphia experiment, and the science behind how entire crafts can simply be obscured. I mention this because it sets a crucial psychological frame for what we discuss. We are dealing with facts that appear to defy both physics and standard logic, where people vanish without a trace, only to seemingly reappear under impossible circumstances. The question isn't if something unusual happened. The more urgent question is, what caused the reappearance? This leads us directly to the dark heart of our evidence, the drop-in. We're talking about individuals who appear to have been physically placed or literally planted in the exact spot where their bodies are eventually recovered, often under impossible conditions. We start in 1925. Dryville, Pennsylvania, just west of Allentown. A young girl, 2-year-old Jenny Bem, disappeared on July 28th while her parents were working in the fields. The dog, a loyal family companion, didn't bark, didn't chase, it just stood there and whined. That single detail, it should always chill you to the bone. What followed was a massive search, hundreds of people in grid patterns, crisscrossing corn and wheat fields for 5 long days. It even rained super heavy twice. They found absolutely nothing. Then, on August 2nd, her body is found in a cornfield, about 2 miles from her house. Searchers claimed they had searched that exact area multiple times. How do you miss a 2-year-old child in a corn row you walk down? The coroner found that Jenny died on August 1st, meaning she was alive for 4 days, while the entire community searched. Crucially, she showed no signs of 5 days of exposure to the heavy elements. The cause of death was a broken neck at the 2nd vertebra. The coroner was very clear she couldn't have inflicted that injury herself by a simple fall. The idea that someone abducted her and then risked their life by planting her body back in a field swarming with police and searchers is ludicrous. The only logical mechanism for her appearance is from above. A drop-in. Let's move forward to 2016. Osborne, Idaho. 1 8-year-old Dylan Parker. He was at a party, left early, and called his mom, urgently asking her to hurry up and pick him up. She arrived a mile from the gas station, and Dylan was utterly gone. 9 days later, searchers find something unusual down in a snowy ravine, mind you, that had been searched by multiple parties. It was Dylan's body. The shocking element for investigators was the utter lack of evidence. There were no tracks, no footprints, no wheel marks, nothing leading to the body. Dylan didn't have any shoes on. But here is the bizarre signature piece of evidence. His socks were clean, spotless. The assistant coroner for Shoshone County actually testified to this under oath. That coroner said, and I quote, "I'll go to my grave believing that boy did not get there on his own. No tracks, clean socks, found in a previously searched spot, if not a crime. How did he arrive?" Now to the imposing Ruby Mountains of Nevada. Also in 2016, Jacob Beetler, 20 years old. He was an experienced bow hunter, knew those mountains like his own backyard. Scouting for deer, he disappears on July 27th. They threw massive resources at this Navy, National Guard, Department of Forestry. The multiple canines they used never picked up a scent, a crucial detail. Weeks later, he is found 20 miles from where he was last seen. Folks, nobody hikes 20 miles in one direction on a day trip where they intend to return that night. It just doesn't happen. The official theory was that he fell 200 feet down a cliff. Yet, the coroner's report documented no broken bones, zero trauma. This defies the laws of physics. He was found dead of supposed hypothermia. Completely naked, no clothes, no boots. 200 feet away from his belongings. An experienced hunter without clothes. No trauma from a massive fall. Simply lays down and freezes to death. This narrative is fundamentally unsound. He was transported, unclothed, and placed where he was recovered. Finally, let's revisit a haunting case near the Mississippi River, a terrible area in missing. 411 cases. Jelani Brinson, 24 years old. An All-American soccer player from Anoka, Minnesota. He steps out on the porch for a smoke, and he's simply gone. A search found his shoes strewn across 2 yards between the house and a golf course pond. 8 days later, his body is found in the pond. Just like in the Dylan Parker case, the area around the pond was thick, heavy mud. Yet, Jelani's socks were completely clean. How do you walk through mud and end up with clean socks? But the most compelling and tragic fact, the coroner could not determine the cause of death. It's a medical mystery that remains unsolved today. Where was Jelani for those missing days? He was alive. Then he was dead. With no conclusive reason why. This points directly to the possibility of the GHB factor. I've documented a paralyzing agent that leaves the victim conscious but utterly immobile, vulnerable to the elements. When you truly look at these 4 cases, Bim, Parker, Beetler, Brinson, the common thread is not the death itself. It is the impossible circumstances of their recovery. No tracks, clean socks in the mud, no clothes or shoes. Missing for days, only to be found in a previously searched area. These are not coincidences. These families are being given local, conventional explanations for what is clearly a far-reaching national problem. I hope this serves as a necessary conduit to medical examiners and coroners across the country. You need to talk to one another. You need to develop a scientific task force. Something very, very strange is happening in our wilderness, in our communities. And the facts, the hard facts, point away from a simple explanation. I don't offer a hypothesis because I don't claim to know the ultimate answer. I'm just laying out the undisputed facts. Thank you very much for being my friend and watching my videos here on Mystery Rift. Check the description below for links and more information. I'll see you next weekend.